YouTube, what's going on? BD Wolfgang 1980 here, aka Bezell, the man that's seen the place to be in the QCNC. Welcome to your flash review. This is episode 4. I believe the title is called Going Rogue. Today is what is today? The 28th of October, 2014. Hope you're doing well. I most certainly am. Before we get started, in the last review, I was calling Eddie Pretty Boy the whole time because I wasn't sure what his name was. But thanks to one of our subscribers, just want to give you a quick shout out, GC Reynolds. That's right, my friend. Thank you for commenting and interacting below. Get me set straight on the right track as far as the name is concerned. So from henceforth, Pretty Boy is Eddie. So thank you, GC. Let's get down to the review. We get a recap of last week's episode. Barry talks about, he's not the lovable loner that he used to be. He talks about having friends now, and ever since the accident, now he has a team. He has, Dr. Wells and Cisco and Caitlin, and so he talks about having friends. From there, we immediately get to some action. There's two armed guys on motorcycles following an armored truck. They end up, distracting the truck, hijacking it. A tow truck pulls up behind it. They jack the truck up. These guys are obviously professionals. They did all this while the truck was moving. So just to give you an idea, these aren't just some guys. They're definitely professionals. From there, a crook gets out of the tow truck, and he has some type of ice cannon or ice gun, maybe liquid nitrous or nitrous oxide, whatever they call it, liquid nitrogen. Excuse me. From there, the armored car guards, they call for help. Flash gets the call. He's there in seconds, literally, and we get our first cool slow down or flash time segment, whatever you want to call it, whatever they call it, the flash effect. He zooms by, knocks two of the guards down. The crooks down. He's getting ready to kick and handle some butt. One of the bad guys shoots one of the guards, and so when Flash sees that, he has to stop and go to the rescue, and that enabled the crooks to get away and escape. Okay. From there, we're fast forwarded to Barry and Joe. They're at the crime scene, talking about the suspects and what they saw. Barry tells Joe that he did happen to see one of their faces when he knocked them over. Okay, they get back to the police station, and Joe has Barry go through, the mug shots of all the recent criminals, or just a book of mug shots. Barry zooms through it so super fast, he literally spots the guy in just a second and puts his finger right on him and said, "No, this is the guy I saw." Joe tells him that the guy's name is Snark, and forgive me, I could not remember the first name. I think they said it once the whole show. So we're gonna call him Snark this whole episode. Comment down below. Tell me what the guy's first name is, viewers. Please help me out. Okay, we found out his name is Snark. He is a professional crook, and he's done jobs all over Center City. Professional jobs. Joe said he never rushes anything. He's calm, cool, calculated. He always cases his jobs before he does it. He'll case a job for 6 months, I believe Joe said, before he strikes. He's very methodical. From there, we're fast forward to Iris and Barry. They're talking. She tells Barry that she's starting a blog about the streak. Barry's against it. He tells her just be careful. He tells her, just be careful what it is you're looking for out there. There's a lot of weirdos on the internet. You don't want to get caught up in some mess. But that's just Barry's way of deflecting the whole situation. Doesn't want her getting too nosy about who the Flash really is. From there, they enter Barry's office, and Felicity is in there waiting. From there, we fast forward to the bad guys' hangout. Dark room, typical bad guy hangout, guys. It was a dark room, guys in the room, sitting around the table. They talk about who the Flash is, and what he could be, and how in the world could he be that fast? Is he military? Is he some type of machine? And Snark says, no, he's a man, because we wouldn't have been able to stop him by shooting that guard. The guy has compassion. That's his. He's a man. We're dealing with a man here. Also, Snark ends up scolding the bad guy that shot the thug. The bad guy that shot the security guard. Snark scolds him for that. Says, "Hey, we don't operate like that. We don't kill anybody, unless it's absolutely necessary." And so the guy was like, well, I felt it was necessary. He said, okay, well, thank you. And boom, Snark shoots him dead right on the spot. So this guy doesn't like any slip-ups, and he doesn't play. From there, we're fast forwarded to Barry and Felicity chat about her knowing his identity. She knows, you're not kidding anybody. I mean, come on. So she asks to Barry, put on a little exhibition, and he does. He runs all the way up to the top of a building, takes a picture, and runs back down. His shoes start to smoke and smolder, which is a little funny scene. From there was a lot of cuts, as this show does do. All you that are familiar with the show, it just constantly moves, segment to segment to segment. It's one of the things I do like about it, but I tell you what, for one like me who likes to give you guys in-depth reviews, I'm doing a lot of writing. Just to give you an idea, that's just page 1. I think I'm 4 pages deep tonight, guys. 2, 3. 3 pages deep tonight. Okay, we're back at Star Labs. Barry giving Felicity a tour of Star Labs. Wells comes in. He knows all about her, starts dropping her pedigree, all her degrees, and how talented and of a scientist he knows that she is. She gets to meet Cisco and Caitlin. From there, she wants to see some more showing off. So Barry runs on a treadmill, puts on another exhibition. And while he's doing that in the one room, Felicity is on the outside talking to Wells, Cisco, and Caitlin. And she starts asking a lot of questions, almost to the point where it was like, is she a spy or something? But she was asking a lot of questions. But she was just mainly wanting to know the level of concern that they really had for Barry, or is he just, a pet, a lab rat to them? Is he someone that they care about? And they made it abundantly clear that they have Barry's best interest at heart. Okay, from there we are outside of the museum, where they believe that Snark has been casing. We have Joe and Eddie in the car. Make a little bit of small talk, doing a little stakeout. Eddie brings up Iris, and Joe immediately cuts him off, makes it clear that he does not want to talk about this. You're my partner. Hey, I gotta have my head in the game, so that's enough. From there, we cut to Felicity, Barry, and Iris. They're at the coffee shop, the little hangout. Felicity has to walk off to call her job, or call Arrow and the gang, see what's going on. And as she does that, Iris goes into detective mode. She gets nosy. She's asking all these questions. What do you think about it? Oh, why don't you ask her out? Why don't you come do this? Why don't you do that? From there, we cut again. Snark is in his hideout. He's looking over some new weapons. One of the guys says, "Here, check this one out. I stole it from Star Labs. It emits, super cold rays and beams. It can do this. It's super fast." And Snark is intrigued. He says, "Yeah, I'll take this one. Who else knows about this? Just you and me." Just me. Shoots him dead. Okay. From there, we fast forward back to the coffee shop. It's trivia night. We're doing a little double date action. We got Iris and Eddie. We have Barry. He's waiting on Felicity. They're all sitting at the table hanging out. And let me talk about dramatic entrances. Felicity came in looking very attractive. She was decked out completely. Eddie looks at Barry like, "Whoa, hey, good job on that one." And Iris is shocked as well. But no, she comes in. She's turning heads. They sit down, they start to play the game. They show off their mental prowess. They're having fun. They win a couple of rounds of trivia. Okay, from there, we cut to the museum. We're in the middle of a museum tour. There's a tour guide, some kids, some adults. Snark is one of the adults in this tour. There's a little kid beside him. He offers the kid a piece of gum. Kid takes it. He's kind of following around. They're kind of talking just a little bit. But once again, we cut right back to the coffee shop. Barry and Felicity, they win a couple more rounds. Felicity has to go to a little girl's room. Eddie says he's going to go get some more, either it was a drink or just maybe some coffee. So it's just Barry and Iris alone. From there, Iris goes right back into it. "Hey, she's perfect for you. Y'all need to be a couple. You're so cute." She literally tells him that Felicity is perfect for him. Okay. Another cut. Now we're at Star Labs. We're in a locker room area, or some type of, I guess, the weapons cache area. And Wells is there. Cisco is there. And Caitlin was there as well. Wells is furious I mean, we're seeing a side to him that they've never shown on the show as far as him being, Dr. Wells. Now, we already have our suspicions about him when the show has gone off the past couple of weeks with, all is definitely not meets the eye with him. We've seen him murder someone. So we know he is some type of hothead. He was showing a little bit of that tonight, guys. He was very ticked off and was going off on Cisco. And what he was angry about was the gun that we found out that was stolen from Star Labs. That was something Cisco created on his own spare time, specifically to slow down the Flash if need be. Wells was very upset. He said he doesn't want weapons of any kind made here that can harm Barry, period. Find this gun now. That's your number one priority. Okay. All right. We're back at the museum. Joe is inside. He's up on a balcony, up on a railing. One of the security guards comes up to him and says, "Hey, we saw him in here. He's in here somewhere." So Joe begins to wander around. He finally spots Snark. He gets on his walkie-talkie and says, "Hey, I need backup. We found him." We go back to the coffee shop, and let's see. Eddie gets the call, and he has to leave for backup to help Joe as well. Barry gets up to leave. Felicity follows him, and she says, "Don't worry, I'll cover for you. Go do what you need to do." Okay, from here, Joe confronts Snark. "Hey, Snark, stop in the name of the law." He's guns drawn. He's chasing Snark on foot. He's chasing after him. Snark shoots the ice cannon. Super cool effect, guys. I mean, it was awesome. And right then, the Flash runs in, pushes Joe out of the way, and gets shot in the process. He's down on the ground. He's like, "Whoa!" He's like, Joe's like, "Hey, you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm all right. It just feels like, almost like a frostbite or something like that." He said it burns. It's so cold. So from there, Snark is aiming. He's trying to shoot Barry. Barry's, he's moving around doing the Flash thing. Can't be hit. So from here, let's see. Yeah, he keeps shooting. Barry dodges, and then Snark makes a comment. "Let's see how fast you really are." He shoots at a security guard. I'm not sure if he was a security guard or undercover policeman or what, but he had a gun drawn. And he was, coming up the ramp. He shoots that ice cannon at him. Barry rushes and tries to beat the ice cannon, to the guard to save the guard, but unfortunately he was too slow. The guard gets frozen in his tracks, and he's dead. Once again, they resort to killing an innocent to stop the Flash. And Snark knows that. Now he really knows it. So that's going to be his number one weapon against the Flash. He's going to prey on his weaknesses to help mankind. Like I said, Barry rushed over to save the security guard. He was too late. The guard dies. Barry is visibly upset. From there, we go back to Star Labs. They determined with a few medical tests that he is frostbitten from the shot. Cisco admits to Barry at this point that he built the gun to stop the Flash. And Barry gets ticked. I mean, he's like, "Dude, really? I mean, I thought I could trust you. I thought you guys are my friends. How could you do this? Why would you do this without telling me?" And Cisco had a very valid point. I mean, hey, man, we didn't know what you were going to do. We didn't know you're going to be this cool, awesome guy. Excuse me. This cool, awesome guy that we all like and want to hang out. Now we're a team. We had to expect the worst with you. So at that point, hey, all bets are off. But, I admit I made it, and I was wrong for making it. Okay. Cisco tells Barry, he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry, man. I mean, I didn't mean it, for anyone to get hurt." Well, Barry's like, "Well, somebody did get hurt. Someone got killed tonight." And Cisco's like, "Hey, that's on me." And then Barry interrupts and said, "No, that's on all of us. We're a team. You built this mess. Now all of us have to deal with that." Okay. We fast forward to Joe's house. Joe comes home. Iris is there sitting down doing something, probably getting her notes together on the street. Iris confronts him about Eddie, and Joe says, "Look, I'm not even mad at you, sweetheart, but this is getting to the point now where this is uncomfortable. I mean, I'm out there with Eddie. Eddie's my partner. Do you know what a partner is? No, you don't. You've never been a cop. We go to crime scenes together. We go to emergencies together. So everything we do, we're together. You think I could look you in the eye if something were to happen to Eddie? How am I going to face that? Now he's more than my partner. Now you're playing on my emotions and you're bringing me down to where something could happen to me or him." So Joe lets him know that it's not even about his anger anymore. It's just, how do I do this? I mean, how do I handle this? So he gives her a hug, just lets her know he's still working on it. He says he wouldn't know what to do if something were to happen to Eddie. Okay. From there, we fast forward to the crime lab, crime hideout again. Snark says, "Hey, we're gonna go hit that museum again. We need to get that diamond. We need to get there. I ain't come this close not to get it." And two of the henchmen say, "You know what? Enough's enough." They point guns to the back of Snark's head and say, "Look, no, we're not doing that job." He's like, "Are you sure about this?" He's like, "Yes, okay. This is how you want to do this. You just better know that if I ever see you two again, that's the end of you." So they leave. They chicken out and they leave. We go to Star Labs. Barry and Felicity are talking about the dead guard and how he's angry with the teammates. She tells him, look, you need to forgive them. I'm not telling you how to, live your life, but you need to forgive them. They are your team. They need you just as much as you need them. It's a two-way street. One can't survive without the other. And she says, "Don't be mad at Cisco. I mean, he really didn't. I mean, what did you expect him to do? He really didn't know if you were going to be a good guy or not." So Barry starts to think and ponder on what Felicity just told him. From there, we just get a quick glimpse of Snark being into the museums, going for the diamond. Then we fast forward again out of there, back to Star Labs. Cisco now has a plan on how to track the gun so they can track Snark. He tells Barry that they need to hack into this computer system, and they can send a ping on this, and they can triangulate the position and then find the gun. And they was like, "Well, how long will it take you to hack in there?" He said, "Oh, I can do it. It'll take about 30 minutes. Well, this is where Felicity jumps in and says, "Hey, I can probably do it in under a minute." As far when it comes to hacking, I'm the fastest woman alive. She couldn't resist. She had to throw a little comedy line in there. And literally in about 10 seconds, she finds him. Barry rushes off, gets his suit. He comes back in, tells everyone to get ready to go, and he actually turns off his communicator. So he's still a little ticked. He turns off his communicator, and Cisco is like, "Hey, I'm not gonna talk to you." He's like, "No, I don't feel like talking to anyone tonight." And he Flash zooms off. He's gone. Okay, they get the call that the museum has been broken into. What I mean by they, the police. So because we fast forward to Joe. Joe and Eddie are getting ready to respond. Joe specifically tells Eddie, "Hey, wait for backup." Then we fast forward to Star Labs again. Felicity tells Snow and Cisco, "Hey, if you really care about him, you're going to have to overstep your bounds this time and just follow him. Just go after him. You're a team. You got to help each other. He may not want you there, too bad." And so then we cut right back to the action. Eddie shows up to help Joe anyway. He says, "Look, man, I'm your partner. It's going to take more than you saying stay here to keep me away. Forget everything with Iris. I'm still your partner." Flash shows up as well. He confronts Snark. They're having a little stare down episode right here. Snark tells Flash that he's weak. "Hey, you can't. I can stop you anytime I want because you have weakness. You care more about saving these people than you do, stopping me." And right at that moment, he takes the cannon, the freeze gun, and he shoots a train, and the train derails. He jumps out the window, and of course, poor Flash has to save everybody, or at least attempt to save everybody before the train crashes. Now, guys, this might have been a segment of the night. The special effects on this part was off the hook. We get Flash slowing down time, zooming through, running off the walls, grabbing each person, running them out. All you see is the lightning and everything slowing down. It was cool. It was freaking awesome. It was like a movie style. I enjoyed it. Comment down below. Tell me how much you like the special effects in this show. Yeah, I even wrote down awesome effects. So Barry does get everyone off of the train, and Snark shoots Barry while he's trying to catch his breath. He just really pushed himself really hard to get everyone off, and Snark shoots him when he's trying to catch his breath. Stands over him. Next thing you know, we got Cisco in the game. Cisco, Caitlin, and Felicity. I can't remember if Felicity was with them or not. Guys, forgive me. Comment down below. But he shows up with this fancy, big-time cannon-looking thing, lights everywhere, and tells Snark, "Hey, put down the gun, turn around, you're coming peacefully. This gun here is the prototype that's actually, twice as strong or 3 times as strong as the one you're using. So you're not going to win this." Snark says, "Look, boy," or kid, whatever he said to him, "you're shaking. You ain't never killed anybody. You ain't killing nobody today." Cisco quickly says, hey, there's a first time for everything. Well, basically, Snark just calls his bluff, but he doesn't shoot the Flash or anything. He just walks off. Cisco says, hey, give me that diamond. Snark says, that ain't happening, kid. He just walks off, still with the weapon, still with the diamond. But at the end of the day, they were more concerned about Flash's safety and making sure he was okay. Then we get a little bit of comedy here. Cisco admits that was the vacuum cleaner for the for Star Labs that he just faked off as a gun. So that was actually pretty funny. And then we just knowing that part of it, when you saw the device again, you definitely knew it was a vacuum cleaner. It was like a huge big shot back, and he put a bunch of LED lights on. So that was funny. Okay, we're back at Star Labs. Barry and Cisco talk about losing Snark. They say that he's off the grid. They can't track him at this point. Barry says, hey, don't worry about it, buddy. We'll eventually catch him. And Felicity comes in. She's got her purse and bag with her. She came in to tell everyone goodbye. And, she leaves. Barry walks off. Wells comes to, here we have our intense Wells moment of the week. He comes up to Cisco, grabs his arm, very tightly, very deep, stern, angry voice. Don't you ever build anything like that again. You can see the look of fear and nervousness in Cisco's eyes. Like, this is a side of Wells he hadn't seen before. And then, Wells walks off or wheels off. From there, we get the police station segment with Joe and Iris. Iris apologizes to Joe about his feelings, saying, she was being spoiled or, angry or resentful because she thought it was just her dad not letting her grow up or her dad not letting her love who she wants to love. But no, as she learned the other night that, hey, this is messing. I mean, somebody can get shot out here. You know what I'm saying? You're messing up, with his mind. He's worried about his partner. He can't be like that. He's worried about his partner and you and himself. Okay. And then Joe, he opens up and admits one thing further. He says, hey, I had to kind of get my feelings in check a little bit too, because when I was dealing with Snark, he got the drop on me. And let me tell you, Eddie saved my life. If Eddie didn't get me out of the way, I would have been toast. So he admits to Iris that Eddie saved his life, and they go up to go, he takes Iris up to where Eddie is. Scene ends there. Then we're on the train. Felicity is on the train by herself. She's riding back to, oh boy, what's the name of the town that Arrow lives in? Guys, comment down below. I can't remember. Is it Metro City? Silver City? I can't remember. Please comment down below. Get me straight, somebody. But all of a sudden, Barry appears on the train. Obviously, he chased it down and zoomed right on in. They talk for a little bit. They talk about their feelings about each other. They talk about their feelings for the ones who are out of reach. In Barry's case, Iris. In Felicity's case, Oliver. Here they are admitting to each other that they basically are perfect for each other, but it can never be. They don't want to ruin it. And so Barry says, hey, I understand. And I know you understand because we're both pretty much in the same boat. Well, and he says, if you ever need me, I'll be there. I'll be there in a flash. And he leans forward, and so does she, and they have a nice friendly kiss goodbye. From there, Flash runs off, literally. Okay, we get our main event or our climax segment of the evening. We're in a dark room. Snark is there. He's got his gun. He's got a briefcase or a weapons case on the top of the desk. He opens it up. You see this cool-looking gun with some like red highlights on it. I believe he said this thing produces a certain amount of heat. And he says, from here, I've got to up my strategy. It's time we might have to do a little bit of recruiting. So I want to have a team. He said, are you in, Mick? And he dropped the name Mick. And Mick says yes. And that's how the show ended, folks. Now, who is this Mick character? Is this Firestorm? The gun did look like some type of fire cannon or maybe some type of laser beam. I mean, comment down below, guys. What do you think it is? Let me know. Is the real name of the character Firestorm? Is his first name Mick? Because I don't know. So let me know. But once again, great show, guys. Right off the gate, right out the books. Bravo. I mean, this is entertainment. I look forward to Tuesday nights. I look forward to, I'm sitting here taking all these notes and it's no problem. I look forward to sharing my opinions and sharing this show with you guys. Some of you might come here and you hadn't seen the show yet. And I hope I help you out to the point where you want to see it. Some of you hope you watched it and you came for the review because you just want to hear some enthusiasm or someone that shares your opinion on the show. So please tell a friend, comment down below. I'll try to respond to every single one of them every time. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Definitely we'll try to do this again for you next week. Also, keep in mind, there has been some good news for all us Flash fans, but the Flash has been extended to a 22-episode season. They've been overwhelmed with the ratings. Lots of people like the show. We are not alone, so spread the word. Let's make the show the next big hit. There's lots of characters, lots of storylines they can do with this show in the future. But that's a whole nother video. Guys, it's been a lot of fun. You have a good night. Be good to one another. I will see you next time. Share, like, subscribe, tell a friend, and have a good evening. Bezell out.